Good evening. My name is Kwabena. Welcome. I want to share with you what I've termed you cannot build a team with people who are not trustworthy. You cannot build a team with people who are not trustworthy. If you have tried to put any people together, if you have tried to build anything yourself, if you have tried to build a business, an organization, an NGO, the things that people build, that they need people. There are not many things that you can do in this life without you needing the help of a lot of people. Now, if you call any group of people a team that you think you're building, the bottom line of it should be that the people who are in the very core of it should be people. People come in and they only come in. People come around because of what they perceive to be only something that will help them. And so if you have ever employed any person, you see that they almost is giving them an opportunity to work, was creating some bit of help for them. Now, I would not say that these things don't happen in other places, but I think that our kind is a bit more high. I think that people have not been taught, people have not been trained at all. The value system, I think, is that much weak, where people just only sacrifice trust, sacrifice honesty for something that they think will just help them. And so if you're going to, if you want to build anything, you will need people. Now, these are the same people that we are going to pick from to build a business, to build an organization, to build our team, to build our vision. How do you pick from these same kind of people who, for me, have barely been taught how to build a relationship based on trust, based on honesty, based on something that will be for a long term? I think that it is a kind of difficult job, especially if they have gone to school. If they have gone to school, the school kind of deceives them for them to think that they are intelligent. For them to have some kind of perception that they are packaged, they are as organized as the one who helped them to get a place to work. This is almost all the time something that you're going to deal with. I have had a lot of experiences, bad ones especially, with people that you just give them some kind of employment or some kind of responsibility or some kind of access to your life, and when they come around, they quickly forget the kind of access that you give them. And if they have to go, they will go as if you never treated them well. I think that most often it's not that because you're a bad person. It's because that nobody taught them that you don't just walk off on people like that. And in this life, it's so short that your network that you build, the kind of people that you get to know, they are going to be the ones that will be responsible for the success that you get to benefit with your life. But they think that they can just go anywhere and jump, go anywhere and jump, because the thing is that if it's not part of your value system to be trustworthy, especially when it comes to dealing with people, wherever that you move from, the next place that you're going, is the same person that is showing up, is you. So you get there and you put up the same thing. You are always making decisions only for your self-interest. Now, how do you build a team to succeed, to get to the vision, to get to the goals, to build a business, when these are the kind of people that you are going to choose from? Now, most of the people that you're going to choose from, they are not 1 year, they are not 2 years old, they are not 3 years. A lot of them have already formed their own personal ideas and philosophies of life. And a lot of it is coming from this culture, which has not tuned them, because the thing is that our culture is still very much at its organic state. Our culture is still not developed. Okay, so we can debate it, we can fight it, but that's the fact. Because the value that we place on people, the values that we place on our own philosophy of our character, one of the things that you can see that the culture is well developed is the kind of value they place on people, the kind of value that they place on their word. You know, if a system, if a group of people, if a country is a bit organized, you see that the country gets to a place where people don't have to be religious to be honest. They just have to be honest because it is become part of their thinking, of their philosophy. Now, if you're going to build a team, you would want to have a people who can stand for something. Now, my experience, I may be wrong, but my experience with a lot of Ghanaians, especially, and some Africans, has been that they put up a front. If you are in a particular position, in a particular status in society, they never let you know what they think of you. They never let you know what they think of any circumstance. They never let you know what they think of whether whatever is going on around the organization is good or bad. They will never let you know. They will always, all the time, put up a position that they think you will like. But in your absence, they have their own mind. And that is why when they are going, if you were that much naive, when they are going, it becomes like a shock to you. No, it shouldn't be a shock, because really that is the kind of thing that they have been putting up. Maybe just that you were absent or you are not looking. And so to succeed in a culture that has not pushed the people to stand for something, to tell you what is on their mind, and never be afraid that you can let them go or you can let them stay. We've been conditioned to so much think of our interests so much that we hardly will stand for anything that has to be stood for. This is the kind of people. So when you are employing somebody on your organization, whether it's one person or two or three or four, a lot of them, almost all of them, are coming up out of it, because usually most people just think like any other person. As a matter of fact, most Ghanaians think the same. Most Africans think the same, because they don't really develop their originality of thinking, their own way of looking at issues. They seem to be agreeing on a lot of things that benefit them. That's why when you go to the parliament, you look at it. Anything that they agree on is what? Just tell me. Is when they are raising their salary, they will agree, because it has to benefit them. This is the culture that we are coming from. It should not be that, no, this is wrong. It is not going to benefit the people, so we should not stand for that. No, almost all the time, when it has to get to their benefit, they forget about their partisan. So this is all the people, all of us are coming from that kind of background. Now, you who want to build a business or want to build something, which you would have to build a team, one of the things that you would have to not compromise is that you have to just have a way to let them understand that if there is anything that will be so much dear to you, it should be that they have to let you understand. You have to let them understand that you stand for the right thing. And if it's green, you would want them to say it is green. If it's yellow, you want them to say it's yellow. You want to depend on their word so that you can use the information that they are giving you to build the organization. If they have to tell you what you have to hear, which is their natural tendency, which is their cultural tendency, which is the way we are. We don't want controversy. We don't want to be seen as the one who is the bad one in it. So we agree with a lot of things that everybody is agreeing. Sometimes you can even get somebody in the workplace who is stealing. The person is stealing. All the others know that this person is stealing. But hardly would any one of them, naturally, coming from this culture, will stand up to say that I think this person is not being honest. I've seen them do this kind of thing, or I've seen him do this kind of thing. I think you should query them. Sometimes they will not even confront them, and they will not also let you know. Their normal assertion is that if I say it, you will let them go home. And I don't want to be responsible for this person going home. This is the kind of people. And so they put the person's interests above that which they have to stand for. Now, you can still put some kind of measures in place, because without that kind of value for the people to be honest to you and to the team and stand for what is right, and if you don't get a lot of them doing that, there is not that much you are going to build as a business or as a group of people, and your results will be proportional to that. You can have a very strong team if the people don't tell you the truth, if they don't stand for what is right, if they are not honest, if they are not trustworthy. You don't have a team. Now, these are people who are coming from such a background where they don't want to be seen as somebody who is responsible for why you let that person go home, or why you call the police to come and get the one who stole the money or who stole the item. I don't know who taught us this one, but it's not good. It's not good at all. It's not going to help a lot of businesses. It's not going to help a country to develop where people will not stand for which is right. People will only stand for that which they think will benefit their colleague or will benefit them. It is a difficult situation. One of the things that you get business people, entrepreneurs complain all the time is that you hardly get people who you can trust. Most of these organizations that you hear collapsing and things like that, do you think that people didn't see the kind of wrong things that the people were doing? They hear them, they saw them, but they will not stand up to say or to tell somebody who can take decision that I saw this person steal, I saw this person take this kind of money, I saw this person change this kind of document. Virtually nobody will say it. Do you think that the people who are working with the government are telling him the truth, or the president are telling him the truth? I bet you they are not, because they are coming from the same kind of background where they will just have to package something to tell you if you're a leader. If they feel that you have some privilege and you have some position, if you don't find a way of getting your own right information, by the time you see it, everything else is gone bad. And yet you cannot build a neat team that can be that much productive, that can get you results without honesty, without people being truthful. You know, so one of the things and why people behave like that is because they only think of themselves. You know, they only think of themselves, and they have not the confidence has not been built that much to stand for something which they can even be ready to be fired if they, you know, you need people to stand up sometimes even against you in organization, even if you have to let them go home. You need that kind of confidence from people, and hardly would you are going to get that from them. Ordinarily you will not get that. You would have to insist. You would have to insist, and possibly start to build that kind of confidence, that kind of culture in the organization. You have to demand it. When somebody else tells you something that you know is not right, call them in front of everybody, ask them, present your position. Initially they may not like it, but with time they'll be able to let you at least give you some half truth, which is better than zero, you know, which you can use to make whatever decision that you are making. People will easily or quickly walk off on you, you know, if they think that they don't need you. This is our country, and I can tell you that if somebody comes in with that humility, that kind of calmness, don't believe it. You know, don't believe it at all. Let them defend their philosophy. Let them defend why they think they are humble. Don't just buy it because they think that you can let them go home, or they need some help from you. Now, the moment a lot of these people need help from you, they never become controversial. They don't want to be seen as the odd one. They will just package themselves. Now, one of the things that you will see is when there is trouble. When there's trouble and everybody is coming at you, you would have thought that the other one, who was very calm and respectful and always seemed to be liking you, would come to your defense. What you saw was a package. Because the philosophy in the culture is not that strong for them to stand for anything. So the confidence is weak. So most people will just only show you what they think you want to hear. You would want to help them. Now, it's a difficult task because some of them are 30 years, 40 years. This is their philosophy. You can't just change people in a day. But the thing is that if you're going to build an organization, you would need people some of them, to be honest with you, to be frank with you, sometimes to even stand up and tell you what they think, even if they know that you will not be happy to hear that, so far as it's in the interest of the organization. And that most of you will not get from this culture. It's difficult unless you start to demand it. You start to put it in them. You start to encourage them to stand up and say what they think, what their opinion on what you're saying. Start to build the confidence, because without that, they will never be trustworthy, or they will not trust you, and they will not tell you the truth. Now, forget about them reading the Bible and opening and singing a church song. When it comes to values and character, religiosity has nothing to do with it. What has to do with it is the developed mind, the way they ask questions, the way they're able to think critically, the way they're able to put things in perspective. And so when you think that, because I used to believe that once I see somebody go to church and mention the name of God, I used to think that they will be that much frank and honest and straightforward with you. I was wrong, very much wrong. It's not like that. It's people who know themselves, who have developed some level of confidence, who are not afraid to argue their points out. Those are the kind of people who will be able to tell you straight that I think this is this and this is that. If you're not getting people like that, don't expect them to be honest with you. They can't be honest, because honesty calls for some kind of confidence. If you see a place where a lot of people are stealing and cheating, it's because people don't have a lot of confidence in their abilities. They may perceive to have confidence. You may think that they have confidence. You may even think that they're educated, they are this, they are that. Really, their actions will sell them out. Because for somebody to stand up to say that I'm not going to steal, I'm not going to take this, I'm not going to lie on you, that person should have come from a background where they taught him to do that. They taught him to that. They are the kind of people who can stand up to defend their own points and their position. So people can be that much respectful, so long as they will need something from you. So long as they think that you are at a position that you can help them, they will be that much respectful and call you chief and boss and daddy and those things. When the same people think that you are no more at that position that can help them, or you are no more, they are no more in that kind of range that they need your help. The same people, the same kind of people who was mentioning the name of God and singing hallelujah everywhere, the same kind of people will jump to tell you what they think. Now, you should not be shocked. It's not anything. It doesn't mean anything. People can stand up and tell you what they think. It's okay. But what really is the missing link is when the same person that you thought was so much sober now is insulting you. Sometimes you employ people, and you know all the time that they are working with you, they are very nice and they talk on the phone very nice. When the moment that they decide to say I'm not coming to work, when you call them, the same person, the words they will use, the way they will talk. Now, if our country is going to develop, we don't need a lot of people to be that much sycophant and that much hypocritical, because you don't have to show respect to somebody because you need their help. You only show respect to people because that is the kind of value that you carry. And so you show respect to people, you are honest to people, not because you need their help. You're honest to people because that is part of you. You have developed yourself as a human being to say what is true, and to say your mind and tell people and say it as you think should be said. Without you just putting some paint on it and packaging it because you think that person is in a critical position or is in a position that you will need help from. So it is almost impossible to build anything with people who compromise on their values. It's almost impossible. You're not going to do much with your life if all the time you are building a business with people that you have employed who compromise on their values. They will cheat, they will lie, they will steal from the business, they will tell you what you want to hear every time. You're wasting your time building anything with such people. You would want to rather have one team member or one person who you can build that, somebody who has the confidence enough to be honest and to be trustworthy. All the countries that develop around the world, they try to come up and develop in the people to be honest and say what it is. And if you go against what has to be told, they have a measure to at least punish you. Now, it's not that any country is 100% honest, but if you have 2% honesty, you're going to struggle as a country. That's why you have a lot of people who are saying that there are a lot of things that you hear, corruption. Corruption is just a value system. It means that somebody saw them cheat, somebody saw that minister, somebody saw that person, director, cheating, But because they also have compromised value system, they will not even stand up to say, because they don't want to be seen as controversial at all. The country should rather collapse and go into bankruptcy than for them to stand up to say that this man was doing the wrong thing. And so you are going to build a people, you have got to build a team. But these are the kind of people that you are going to pick from to build a team. Now, how do you do that? Is the magic that you have to perform. And I think that one of the things that you have to do is you just have to understand that you can't build a team with people who are not trustworthy. You cannot build a team, especially when you're going to build a business and you say that you have 3 workers who are with you and you give them money to spend and they pay, the thing is 100 Ghana, they go and pay 20 Ghana and pocket the 80. You're not going anywhere, because there will be a lot of losses. There will be a lot of stagnation. You are not going to build anything, because the people who you think are part of you are really fighting against the mission. Because you can't be part of something you are building and still be stealing from it. You know, and a lot of them don't even know that. And so you think that you have given your project manager money and he is the one responsible. So maybe you signed 50,000 for him to go and take care of the project. He came with his budget. You probably thought that he was a good man, and so you just said, okay, you sanctioned and said that, okay, go, we will be sending the money. Now he looked it up, you know, it's 50 according to him, but really maybe the real cost for that project was 20,000. Now he has a plan to pocket 30,000 of that and maybe go to start to build his own house or buy a car with it. Now this is a lot of the strategies that most people have, and my position is that don't ever think that because they say that they go to church will mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. Value system, people being trustworthy, has very little to with the fact that they go to church. It has everything to do with the kind of environment they grew up in and how they were trained. Okay, it has very little to with religion. They could be opening the Bible and they could be singing hallelujah every day. It doesn't matter. If they are coming from a background that compromised that, it is in them. You would have to be the one help them to live that which is right. Yet you will need people to work with. And so you would have to have it as part of your team, as part of the things that every now and then you bring it up to tell them that we cannot build anything if we cannot trust you. You can't be everywhere. If you're building business, you cannot be everywhere. If you're building anything, you cannot be everywhere. But the people that you can depend on, or the people that you would think that you can depend on, it should be people that if nothing at all, you can trust their word, that they can give you their fair view of situation. They don't want to please you. They don't want to just say what you want to hear, because that is how things destroy. If you have people around you who only tell you what you want to hear, you can't build anything. You want a team that the confidence is so up that they can tell you that this, I think, is the situation without you being offended. But I see most people are also used to team leaders being so quickly offended that, you know, and their opinion, if you know what you're doing. Now, and that is what somebody told them, that if you're a strong leader, then you don't have to show respect to people. Now, that's a lie. If you're a strong leader, you just know something, the others also know something. But whatever they know, if they are not going to be honest in telling you whatever they know, then what they are telling you is useless. And so if you're going to build a team, you want to build a team that you can absolutely rely on. And you would have to demand that. You would have to develop that. If you see anybody is not changing, you would want to change that person, because you will go and come back. It does not mean you don't have to have systems. You have to have systems. You have to have control measures to check them and to try to know if they are doing the right thing or they are not doing the right thing. But at the same time, if you can have a lot of them whose philosophy, whose base are just that they want to be honest and they want to, whose confidence is a bit up. Because in some areas, people have been trained to be honest and they try to be honest. In some countries, people have been trained to be trustworthy and they are trustworthy. Yet in some countries, because nobody has ever told them that if you want to build anything, you will need people to build with. And there is no team if there is no honesty. If your word cannot be taken as it is, there is no team. Because you tell me one and I'm looking at if it's two. And people do that because nobody told them continuously that you cannot build anything if you're not trustworthy. You cannot be part of anything phenomena if the theme is not trustworthy. So put that in them. And if you are with somebody and you work and you want to leave, don't leave because don't leave thinking that the place that you work, they are enemy. That's a weakness of character. Leave because you want to leave, and always make sure that the place you are living is open. You can come back and smile, nobody will sack you, especially if they are good people. But don't just trivialize the help people give you, because it will work against you. As a matter of fact, people who know what they are doing and great people always cherish the relationships that they build all their lives. And so they are thankful, they are grateful, they don't take it lightly, the help that somebody gave them. And that's a mark of somebody you can build a team with. If you see somebody who is grateful, who is thankful, it's likely you are seeing somebody who is trustworthy. That's one of the things. If somebody is so much secretive and fearful, it's likely that they are not trustworthy. They are not trustworthy. So one of the things that you would want to look for are people who are thankful and grateful and appreciative, who are very open. Those are the people who are likely to be trustworthy. The other ones who are secretive and thinking that everybody else is envious of them, everybody else is after their whatever they have, which usually they don't have anything, because that is coming from the culture. The culture has made them to believe that everybody should live for themselves. So it's just small things. So people have a little thing and they think that somebody else is envious of them. Now, if somebody is coming from such a background, it's so difficult for you to build a team with them. Now, depending on the level of organization that you have, depending on the maturity of your company, there are some people who can join you later when your systems are working very well. But when you are just a very young company, you will need people that you can so much depend on. And you look for such characteristics, the characteristics of people who are present when they are working, whose heart are there. When you're talking, they want to ask questions and get more detail. They are not absent-minded. When you are going somewhere, they are coming in to support. When you give them assignment, they pay attention. They go the extra mile to make sure that what you're doing is working. They know what they bring on board to the team. They appreciate what others do for the team. They know what you have done, the sacrifices that you have done. They don't take those things lightly. Such people are the people that you can build a team with, because most often they seem to be trustworthy. Never trivialize the character of the people who you call your core team that you're building anything with, or you struggle. You waste your time building something, and the people you're building it with have no value for being honest and being trustworthy. That's why until the country is able to build structures where we can have data and value and honesty and integrity in the kind of data that we have, development will be that much tough. Where somebody writes that this is it, so you go to the lands department and you see that document is genuine, and you can take it anywhere and nobody has changed anything. The more you have people being able to do a lot of deals everywhere, it means that the country is not ready for development. And so all countries that are not ready for development, anybody can do anything. Anybody can sell land 20 to 20 people, and none of them will have a centralized database to check, because the country is not built on people being truthful. And so the systems are not even truthful, and that's why the countries suffer. The moment countries start to get organized and become truthful in how they transfer data, and even more importantly, the more the people in the country become more truthful and trustworthy and honest in the way they treat their people, in the way they work, then you see that the country is is ready for development. The same with an organization. The more you have a lot of your workers being truthful, being honest, being trustworthy, the more your company will grow. But the more you see a lot of corruption, it means that the work culture, the culture of that country, of that company, is so weak that it's distraction. It's disruption, or it's distraction. And trustworthiness is positive antidote to corruption. So my name is Kwabena. The main point I'm making is that you cannot build a team with people who are not trustworthy. And so don't waste your time building a partnership, building a business with somebody that you can't trust. At least at the time that you are building, it should be somebody that you think has some kind of personal values, who believes himself. Because people just continue to cut corners and lie because the self-confidence is low. That is the fact, and they are not that much hopeful. So they think that something will go wrong in the future, so they have to lie today to get the immediate benefit. But people who are hopeful, who are confident, believe that they are in charge of their lives and they don't have to lie to you. You would want to build a team like that. And the thing is that if they're coming from this kind of culture, you would have to work on their confidence. You would have to work on how they can stand up and tell you what they think. If they find something which is not wrong, the way they can come and tell you. You know, you have to develop that in the team, or you don't have any team at all. And yet, for you to succeed, you need a team. For you to succeed, you need a team. You don't have to go through all your life trying to build anything all by yourself. It's not important. It's a waste of time. You need people to work with, and people need to get a place to work. Because maybe your experiences have shown that people have just screwed you, cheated you, lied to you. You think that you can trust anybody. You don't have to trust a human being and things like that. You know, there's all kind of philosophies and ideas and, you know, all kind of sayings on some of these things. But you will still need to trust people. You will still need to develop trust in people. You will still need to work on these things, and it takes a lot of effort. And it takes a lot of time to build a company culture, a country culture, an organization culture where people value truth, value, to be honest, take pride in the fact that they are straight, they are honest. You can depend on their word. You know, so people, you don't have to just create a falsehood around your life where you are working somewhere. Even if you are planning to go somewhere, you are planning to leave, you keep it to yourself, and so that it doesn't worth it. It's the life that you're building. It will work against you. If somebody helps you, don't treat them badly. It's just basic fact of life. You would want to be that kind of person who is thankful, who is grateful, who is honest, who treasures the relationships that they get along the side. I mean, as they develop themselves, as they develop their career. And so the thing is that their natural tendency in this culture is that if they don't need you, they only will show you respect and try to put some kind of fakeness if they think that you can help them. The moment they think that they don't need you, they walk off just like that, and they will never even tell you or blink. Now that thing is what is responsible for their suffering. Okay, so it is almost impossible for you to build anything in an organization where there's a lot of compromise values. Okay, so don't waste your time trying to build anything with people who you cannot take their word. Why spend all your life building a friendship with somebody who you cannot trust? It's a waste of time. You would want to develop something with somebody you can take their word. Somebody who is open, somebody who is confident, somebody who values you enough to be honest to you. Because I take it that if there are so precious information that you hide it from me, I'm of no value to you. Because if it's that critical and it will help me change something, and you hide it from me, you don't want me to see it, it means that you really don't see my value, or you don't see the value of the relationship that you have with me. And the point is that you don't have any team if people don't have that kind of value and that kind of respect to tell you the right, the truth, the honesty, the thing that you have to hear for you to make the most important decisions that you have to make. And so my name is Kwabena. Thank you for watching. Today the network was not good. Thank you for watching. But if you don't take anything at all, remember that if your team is not trustworthy, start to work on it, improve it. You may not get 100%, but even if you get 20%, you have made progress, and it will be something that you can work on, because all great achievements are done by people, and you need people who you can take their word, people who will be committed. Because if they are not trustworthy, they are not even committed to anything. If they are not trustworthy, they are not committed to the goal. If they are not trustworthy, they don't care about anything. It's only themselves. And the more you have a lot of the people in your team who are only thinking of themselves, you have no idea the danger that lies ahead. If there is any danger, if there is any threat, they will jump before you even see them. They will never be with you. And we have gone through a lot of these things, trying to do something for ourselves. We have hired people who just will be there, and the only reason that they are there is because it's of themselves. And then the time comes for them to move, they will treat you like an enemy. Doesn't matter. You don't have to be offended over this. Never be offended over such characters. You just have to know that it's rampant in the culture. So if you get them there, you have to have a more robust culture in a business that can help them to develop different kind of values and different kind of ethics, so that your business will not suffer. But we have had all kind of people. They are very nice so long as they are with you. The moment they decide to move, they talk to you like you are nothing. They will reply you, and you're like, wow, why are you saying that? But whenever I see something like that, I know that they are just reproducing the environment that they came from, and it's the people's environment has a lot more to predict their character than the religion that they profess they have. Okay, so when it comes to people being honest with you in terms of money, in terms of information, in terms of anything, it is more of the environment that they grew up in and who enforced what kind of character in them, than when they are just singing Christian songs at the workplace and they will be the one leading the prayer. It doesn't matter. Don't get attracted to those things. Don't be fooled by them praying and speaking in tongues and opening the Bible. They could be doing all those things and they will still be stealing money from you. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't change anything. What changes is the kind of environment they grew up in. If somebody enforce them to be honest, straightforward with you, sincere, then they don't have to open the Bible, because a lot of the people who are just singing and mentioning the name of God, they are the most dangerous, I'm telling you, because they use that as for such. Okay, whenever you're going to do business with anybody and they start to tell you, oh, me, I'm a deacon, I'm a this in church, be careful of that. It's a catch. It's one of the things that sends them out quickly, because most often, if you are very trustworthy and you are a man of your word, you don't even have to tell anybody what you are. They will just find out. So if they have to tell you that they are this, they open the Bible, they preach here, it means that they are not trustworthy. Watch it well, and I can tell you that they will do something that you will know that what I'm saying is right. And I've had some later experiences with people like that. Said that now, if you mention any title, religious title, I don't really see it. I don't really care. Prove your character. If you prove your character, then we can go. And so, thank you very much. My name is Obindako. Thank you.